sort of a mindset.
Meanwhile, as we continue to focus on this LeBlanc pick for JoJo here, it was one of his very, very prominent early on picks, and people really feared his laning power and his ability to get so many kills and carry games with this champion. The nerfs that came in on the next patch that is live, that if you're going to try this at home, are the AP ratio nerfs on Sigil of Mouse as well as Distortion, but you can still go for similar trading patterns like we've observed so far from JoJo. From the very beginning, you always go for these distortions plus autos. LeBlanc is very good at that. At the early levels, being able to get a spell plus an auto on someone is just such an advantage in so many mid lane matchups, and he has gone for the Electrocute version, so he even sticks around, gets those Electrocute procs.
She also has a really clean auto attack animation, right? It's a very snappy one. Some of these older mages, especially champions that were released like over a decade ago in mid lane, they have really slow, wound up auto attacks. LeBlanc doesn't do any of that. It's so easy to execute on that.
Yeah, you go in with the distortion and immediately do the auto and immediately snap back, and it's just very difficult for many champions to trade back. Sometimes we'll see the Corki try and time the boss bomb trade, which is what you get into later. And some Corkis in the past even have taken exhaust, but not this time around.
Talking about some of the other lanes though, because they had early vision on River in this top jungle, Thanatos was already able to go back, clear the wave, and have a really beneficial recall timer. Going back, getting boots, longsword, and then just really being able to save his TP and walk all the way back to this lane. He'll catch almost all of those minions. So early top lane has gone great for Thanatos to win.
Yeah, the advantage of your solo laners having some pushing matchups here, and now we get to see the cat in action. Blabber wants to take advantage of that power on top lane.
Yep.
So Blabber's Crabbers will go to the top side Scuttle Crab. And meanwhile, they should know and be very aware that bottom side is going to be the area for River. So you see JoJo hovering to his control ward, hovering to his jungler. Don't want to ever overchase here as many of these, but they will be able to, with the sapling, push them out and take down that control ward. It's honestly a big investment early on. Being able to get that control ward early feels so, so good, because you know JoJo wants to look for kills on Quid, wants to constantly distortion forward, go for these trades, soften him up so he can use his Ignite and actually get kill credit.
Exactly, the Ignite versus the Flash, making the safety that much more imperative. So we're talking about mid lane a lot. I also think top lane is so interesting in this game because we're talking about how both these guys are young players. They're both very aggressive in lane, and then they can get a little bit too aggressive once laning phase ends.
Yeah.
They're on the staple top lane matchup. Like, if you can't play Renekton Cassante from either side, what are you doing playing top lane right now?
And I will also say, the laning phase has not been the problem for either of these guys. It's been the team fight phase, and it's also been about when or when not to initiate. They're both laning quite well. I do want to call out, though, Ayla has been mid a lot. Like, his roam top was what originally allowed them to clear that ward, and then after recall, he came straight out mid lane again to keep JoJo pushed in, and they haven't lost anything bottom lane from it because of the Ziggs push.
Exactly. That's why you always pair Ziggs with one of these melee supports to be able to go influence the rest of the map. He's so good at handling the waves. And right now, Thanatos has been doing a good job himself, by the way, of keeping control of the wave for the past couple of minutes. He was able to prune it and keep it pushing towards him. So his CS lead should continue to grow here, doing a very nice job.
And I think you can kind of tell how even top lane has been by the state of the teleport cooldowns. A little bit of trading in bottom, but probably shouldn't turn into a whole lot here. The teleport cooldowns in mid are already almost halfway done, and a lot of times you'll see all four solo laner teleports pretty close in the early game as everybody goes back for that first recall, but neither one of the top laners has had to use theirs until just now as Sniper casts his. River showing up mid again. 100 Thieves just always with a little bit of drive-by pressure to keep Quid farming safe.
And I gotta say that 100 Thieves has played this early game quite well, especially keeping the jungle CS as close as it is. They didn't get double crabbed. Blabber hasn't been able to counter jungle anything yet. C9 hasn't been able to take away any crabs. We're probably going to see our first action here at the Crutch with Blabber moving up and Renekton having level 6.
Okay, so first grub has already gone over to the Maokai, but there's going to be a dive down to the bottom lane at the same time as Vulcan engaged with a headbutt pull, but Tomo with a flash out, going to be staying safe for now. River soaks the spear up by the grub pit at the same time, securing the second one of those. Tomo still alive with about 100 HP, but it's first blood for Berserker as the last minion gives him enough time to walk in there and take that away as the last Void Grub is stolen by Blabber in the top side River.
Yeah, nice punish here from Cloud9, seeing that they have Ayla roaming once again and actually pulling off the dive. They get the flash out of Tomo as well as getting the kill because Vulcan's able to tank the tower long enough to allow Berserker to actually reset. And there's 1 minion left, so Berserker's like, you know what? Wait for my Q to come back up. You are a dead Ziggs walking right now. Waits for the Q to come back up, finish him off. So good punish on seeing them go for the grubs, but you can tell what the idea from 100 Thieves was to take away that early pushing power, that grub buff that Cloud9 would use to accelerate and actually start to take down towers and snowball an early game comp.
And that was very close to being a very good 100 Thieves play if Tomo could have found a way to clear that last minion, because Ayla had been leaving him